this tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this painting. It's a fun, quick painting to do, and it's only ever second tree I've painted, and it was fun and simple, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So have a little look. So let's get painting and let's see what you can come out with too. I am new to painting myself, and I find it's always better to have a reference image to work from, because this helps us to create our own images. First, do a rough sketch of the tree in the center of the page. I'm going to start painting the background with a sponge just because it covers a large space quickly, but you could still use a brush. For my background, I've chosen a light blue colour, and I'm going to keep it quite a soft in texture, but you could go as dark or as light as you like. Using dark brown paint with a hint of black and a flat angled brush, I'm going to start painting the bark of the tree. Remember, all trees are unique and different, so you can work quite relaxed on the shape of the tree itself. For the branches, I just apply a lighter stroke and mark out the size of the tree. I will fast forward the next section where I'm just painting out the branches and the general outline of the tree. What to bear in mind is when we start adding the blossoms of the tree, some of the branches we want to remain visible or very faintly visible, so we need to do these lines beforehand because we don't want to be painting them in after. Now, using the same paint and brush, we will mark out the bottom of the tree where the grass will be situated. Now I want to start working on the blossoms of the tree, so I've got myself a round-headed brush which is flat at the top, and I've got dark green paint, and I'll make light tapping motions to create the flowers and the blossoms. Don't worry about the shapes of the blossom. We're just tapping the brush at the side and on its top lightly. This isn't a realistic looking tree anyway, so just fill up the tree with this green paint, filling up the blossoms. Make sure towards the edge of the tree you use a lighter stroke. Remember, you can pause the video at any time and go back, and during these faster recordings, if needed, pause it, have a look at what you're doing with your painting, and then get back to it. Now I will get a light shade of green using the same brush and the same tapping motion. Apply some of this lighter green throughout the tree's blossoms. Keep tapping the green and building it up gradually, so we're going to cover almost all the top branches, making a nice shape. Picture something like a cloud or even a mushroom shape. That's what we're aiming for regarding the shape of the top of the tree. But don't forget, we don't want to cover all the branches completely. We'd still want a few or parts of the branches visible. Now I'm going to mix the green with some yellow, and I'm going to do the same tapping motion and apply this colour throughout the tree. Towards the edges of the branches, tap a little bit lighter. Now I've got myself a small round-headed brush, made some lavender or lilac paint, and I will now make little tapping dots throughout the tree over the other green colours we have already applied. Always remember, towards the edges of the blossoms, tap the brush lighter. I am just applying these dots in random places. Now, using the same little round-headed brush, I'm going to apply some light pink blossoms around where I've applied the lilac coloured blossoms. Just small little tapping motions again. Just so know, I'm tapping them mainly around the lilac colours. Some may overlap, but mainly it's around them. Keep doing these tapping motions and put the blossoms, as many or as little as you want, throughout the tree. Now, using the leftover lavender and light pink paint, I paint the bottom of the tree where the tree base is. I then add some green paint directly underneath the bark of the tree to reflect grass, and some white. Then, using the small round-headed brush we were using with the light pink and lavender blossoms, I'm going to get some white paint and start adding some white blossoms around these other blossoms, around the lilacs and the pinks. Now, with a very thin brush, I'm going to add some dimensions to the bark of the tree. I'm going to add some light beige colour, some white, maybe some yellow, just to give the tree some 3 dimension. Now, with a flat-headed brush and some dark green paint, we want to start building up some grass around the base of the tree. I'm using a simple tapping motion. Now to give the grass some dimension, I'm going to add a little bit of light green, some little touches of yellow, just to make it look a little bit more 3D. Now return to the small round-headed brush you used for the other lilac and pink blossoms, and I'm going to apply some red with just a touch of white blossoms throughout the tree. Now with the leftover paint, I'm going to create some splatter effect over the whole painting. You don't need an actual splatter brush. You could just use an ordinary brush and create the same motion I'm doing here, and it will give you the same effect. But do remember, in order to get the splatter effect, you need to water down your paint a little bit. At this stage, if you did want to go over any blossoms or add a little bit more colour, do so now. It's also a good idea to go over any branches if you've accidentally covered them all. With the last bit of paint, I decided to create some flowing hearts underneath the base of the tree. Once you're happy with your painting, don't forget to sign it and leave it to dry before varnishing. Once your painting is fully dry, you want to apply some varnish to protect it. I use Liquitex. I like the satin effect, but they do gloss and matte. I apply it in the same direction of the painting. So this painting, as you will see, will be done horizontally. I also keep a separate brush just for varnishing. Here is my finished painting, completely dry and on display. If you have enjoyed my video, why not give me a thumbs up and share your comments below. Thank you.